Miska! Miska!
That's Supreme Leader Mishka to you.
Supreme Leader Mishka!
Yes?
Supreme Leader Miska, did you know that Tim just hit 10,000 subscribers?
10,000 subscribers?
10,000 subscribers?
Well, I am very much pleased with my servant.
What do you think he should do for his 10,000 subscriber video?
I don't know.
What about like a dance to Does Your Mama Know? Or like, maybe he could reveal his deepest, darkest secret.
No, I really don't think that's a good idea.
Okay, what about like a Q&A?
That's a far better idea.
Hey, SUBFURIES. All 10,000 of you. Actually, like 11,000 now. By the way, I'm sorry if this video is a little bit less cohesive. I'm kind of improvising it. I don't have a script like I usually do. I promised you a Q&A, and here it is. I'm going to try and answer as many questions as I possibly can. First up is Python Outcast, who asked me why there aren't any teeth or skeletons or eggs around Burke, and I actually made a video on this. It's actually mentioned in my first What Happened to the Night Furies video, and pretty much in short, the answer is that Night Furies don't live around Burke. They live somewhere else, some other faraway land, and you can check out the video to learn more. Katie Loves to Sing 18 asks me, do I like Hextrid or Headlegs? So Hextrid is Hiccup and Astrid, while Headlegs is Heather and Fishlegs, and I'm probably partial to probably Hiccup and Astrid, just because, you know, we've got that real relationship built up between them. But it's interesting, because in Race to the Edge, you know, like, that relationship between Heather and Fishlegs is still developing, and it could be a part of the third movie. I'd actually really like to see Heather in the third movie, so we'll see how that plays out. She also asks what kind of bender I would be. Oh, I'd have to do a lot more thinking about that question. Whisper the Wolf asks how I became a fan of How to Train Your Dragon. So like a lot of people, I watched the first movie, I fell in love with the soundtrack and listened to it 700,000 times, and that really just kind of kept me loving the universe and the dragons and learning more about it, and then I started doing this. Golden Scythe 22 asked me what got me started writing on Wattpad. So I've always been a writer since like the age of 12, and I've written like a total about 4 books, none of them yet published, but I eventually got to a point where I was just like, you know what, I actually want to try and share these books with some other people, and I did, and I actually went on Wattpad once before and put up this fantasy novel involving kids and magic and dragons and all that sort of thing. But I eventually took that down and I started a new account with the books that you can get links to in the description, which are a different kind of style, more young adulty. But yeah, I really just got started on Wattpad because it was the first place I found to put my writing out to a group of people that I could empathize with. So Animal Lover on Twitter asks me what country I am from, and the very clear answer is that I am from the great state of Australia. Bradbury Gold asks me, when did I start doing YouTube and why? I actually started doing YouTube in 2015, but that wasn't really when I started making videos. When I really seriously started doing the stuff that you guys watch now, that was only a few months ago, actually. And as for why, I don't know. I just thought it would be fun. I wanted to foster a community that I could talk about this sort of nerdy stuff that I really like discussing, and I have, and it's amazing, it's incredible. Matthew Morris on Twitter asks a few questions. Firstly, have I ever thought about quitting? Matthew, funny story, I did quit. I actually made like 70 videos back in 2015, and after a while of, you know, no one watching them, I sort of just thought, okay, well, you know, I had my shot, I gave it my best, and then I stopped making videos. But then like a year later, my What Happened to the Night Furies video skyrocketed to 230,000 views, and I thought, well, I should probably capitalize on this, and started making videos again. Matthew also asks, how long will I continue making videos? As long as you guys want me to make them. And he also asks, do I play Rise of Burke, and if so, could I film it? Is that something you guys want? Rise of Burke is this How to Train Your Dragon game where you build up Burke and you find dragons, and I actually have started playing it, but only recently. But I do know a lot about the dragons involved in the game. Is that something you guys want to see? Do you want me to film me playing Rise of Burke? Dragonborn Anaclosmos asks me, what other fandoms am I a part of? Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, Undertale, Doctor Who, Harry Potter, Shakespeare, Artemis Fowl, Percy Jackson, John Green, Attack on Titan, and of course, How to Train Your Dragon. Look at this! Isn't he cute? So I mean, there's a few. There is of course one more fandom that we are all a part of. The Mishka fandom. Which, yes, Dragonborn and Klusmos is totally a thing. And repeat with me. All hail Mishka. A merciful and glorious overlord. Cyber Vampire asks me, is it possible for there to be undiscovered dragon classes? And if so, what kind of class would it be? So the dragon classes were really just invented by Burke to classify the dragons. And they're sort of classified in two different ways. Territory and abilities. So like to be in the title class, you really just have to be in water. And then you got the boulder class, which just broadly speaking is just, you know, if the dragon is something to do with earth. Then we got the sharp and tracker and stoker classes, which are really to do with abilities, you know, having sharp wings or having the ability to track things really easily or just being very fire focused. And my feeling is that it wouldn't be like a territory based class, but more like an ability based class, like the Gronsicle, or think of the Changewing and its invisibility. I don't know what ability it would be based around, but I'm sure we'll find out in the future. Onio Autos asks me, what do I see myself doing in the future, YouTube or something else? So I'm actually a law student, I'm also doing an arts degree, and I'm gonna finish university at the end of next year. So, I mean, if the SUBFURIES community is big enough to support me through things like Patreon by the time I finish uni, then I would love to be doing YouTube, you know, as a career. That'd be really cool, and I'd be able to bring out, you know, 3, 4, 5 videos a week. But there's always the possibility that I could end up doing something related to law. Python Outcast also asks what inspired me and how do you guys send fan mail? So who inspired me? Broadly speaking, I would say there were kind of two main YouTubers that I looked to. That would be the Vlogbrothers and Wheezy Waiter. I binge watched all of their videos essentially, and I loved kind of the quirky topics that they could cover. I am aware of other YouTubers like Super Carlin Brothers and so on, but I only really discovered them recently. As for how you guys can send fan mail, seriously, thank you. It means so much to receive your emails and your messages, to see you guys engaging with the stuff that I make. It means the world to me. You can always use hellofuturemeyt@gmail.com, and I will always respond to your emails. I have responded to every email I've received so far, and I will continue to do so as long as I can. If you want to see me art, if it's digital, you can tweet it to me or send me the image, and I love seeing it. By the way, Aim the Animator, who made the intros to our Dragon Tournament series, sent me this image of our glorious overlord. Isn't it awesome? It's gorgeous, right? If you want to see me like an actual letter or something physical, I am talking to my post office right now about organising a PO box, which you'll be able to send something to, and I will let you know as soon as possible. Claw asks, how did I get the name Hello Future Me? So Hello Future Me was an idea I had for an original vlog about me sending videos to my future self about how uni's going and thoughts I had throughout the day. That idea never really eventuated, but I never changed the name, and I guess I'm stuck with it now. Dragon Whisperer asks, how many pets do I have? Well, I think it's quite clear that I have 2 pets and 1 Supreme Overlord. All hail Mishka. But why don't we go see if we can find the other 2?
Hello! Hey! Hey, oh gosh! Hey! You alright there, Jesse? This is Obi, and that's Jesse over there.
And now he will not leave me alone.
Daniel Kubaki says, your hair looks good in this video. Thanks. Ethan Bailey asks, do you have a girlfriend? My only mistress is duty, honor, and excessive amounts of chocolate. And my beautiful girlfriend. Menu Sherbet asks, what's my favorite song from a movie? Now, I'm not sure if you mean a movie or the movie, because if it's How to Train Your Dragon, then Forbidden Friendship, hands down. But if you mean any movie, then definitely Into the West and Leonox Return of the King. Kaylee Mavis asks, what's my favorite movie? Lord of the Rings. Raptorus77 asks, what's my favorite How to Train Your Dragon moment and my favorite Avatar moment? My favorite How to Train Your Dragon scene would probably have to be when Toothless and Hiccup meet, the Forbidden Friendship scene. It's adorable and awesome and I mean, how can you resist that? But my favorite Avatar moment? Nope, can't choose. That's just too difficult. Vasorian says, all hail Mishka, I hope I spelled that right, and you did spell that right, congratulations. Carlos T asks, will I talk about Dragon Evolution? Don't worry, I have seen the comments asking to talk about Dragon Evolution, and they are totally coming. I want to talk about whether the Armor Wing and the Bone Napper are related, and like, how do the speed stingers island hop? Like, these are great questions to explore and explain, and I'm really interested to get into them. Mr. Pigron asks, do you live on Burke? Let me check. I don't think so. Bishop Beam says, what country are you from? Your accent is amazing. I mean, the very clear answer is that I am from the very small state of New Zealand. And the Roblox Gamer asks, what is the most random thing you have ever thought of? Yeah, no, I can't tell you that. And Fan of People asks, are these videos easy to make? I probably spend like an average of about 10 hours on each video, and most of those to do with research and editing. I have to, you know, when I'm explaining something or coming up with a theory, you know, I have to make sure I get all of the details from the show and the movies and whatever else stuff is out there. And the editing just takes a long time, mostly because I'm very bad at it. Okay, and I guess I have to answer the question that all of you were asking. Reptilian Player on Twitter asks, what is my favorite How to Train Your Dragon dragon? Believe it or not, it's actually not a Night Fury. I love Toothless as much as anyone else, but I also like some of the other dragons a little bit more. I find them really interesting. Okay, it's almost impossible for me to say, and it really often changes depending on what kind of video I'm making, but I do have a certain affinity for 3 types of dragons. I really like Night Terrors, and I also really like, since I made that last video, Shadowwings and Small Shadows. I love the relationship that they share. It's so unique, and their attack is that bomber plane that fires magmus missiles at their enemies. That is just so cool. So don't take that as a definitive answer, because it'll probably change in a week's time, but there you go. My favorite How to Train Your Dragon at the moment are, well, these 3. Okay, I think I'm done. Thank you so much for all of your questions, SUBFURIES. My questions to you, SUBFURIES, are what is your favorite dragon from the How to Train Your Dragon series, and would you guys like me to talk about Star Wars? 10,000 subscribers, I never thought I would get here, but I am. And it's all thanks to all of you. I've got heaps more How to Train Your Dragon stuff coming, and some Star Wars as well. Thank you for sticking with me this far. As always, follow me on Twitter, Wattpad, Facebook, email me or support me at Patreon in the links in the description below. If I missed your question or you have other questions, I promise I'll get to them in the next Q&A. Thanks for all your questions and supporting me so far, and I can't wait to do more videos in the future. Toothless says to keep being an awesome SUBFURIE, and I'll see you in the future.